You hear it all the time, right? People talk about the good old days, this era where prosperity just seemed easier. But what did that good life for the baby boomer generation actually look like? Well, we're going to break down the specific economic factors that built their world and maybe start to understand why, for so many of us, that kind of prosperity feels pretty out of reach today. This quote really hits on something, doesn't it? That feeling of bitter irony. It perfectly frames the central tension we're talking about. A good life that seemed so normal, so attainable for one generation, now feels almost like a historical fantasy. And it's that sense of lost prosperity that we're really going to dig into. So, first things first, who exactly are we talking about? The baby boomers. Generally, anyone born in those couple of decades right after World War II. And that context is absolutely crucial. See, the post-war period wasn't just some random date on a calendar. It was a totally unique economic environment that set the stage for everything that followed. And this economic strength wasn't just numbers on a page. No, it created a genuine culture of optimism. People felt confident, they felt secure, and that security gave them the confidence to start families, which, led to the literal population boom. This psychological foundation, this feeling of security, is key to understanding the whole era. Okay, so to really get how this era worked, we're going to look at three foundational pillars. And the first one, maybe the most important one, was job security. This was the absolute bedrock of the good life. The whole thing was built on a world of stable, accessible work. So what did this job market actually look like? Well, for one, returning soldiers came home to a booming economy. And get this, wages were often tied directly to productivity. So, thanks in large part to strong unions, when a company did well, its workers did well too. Imagine that! It meant you could realistically build a lifelong career with one company with predictable promotions and solid benefits. It was, in a word, a world of financial predictability. So on one side, you have the cornerstones of a post-war career. Loyalty, wages tied to success, strong support systems. And on the other side, just a question mark. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How many of those features define the typical career path for most people today? That contrast is at the very heart of this entire conversation. Now, that stable job made the second pillar possible, affordable home ownership. And this was a huge deal. It wasn't just about having a roof over your head. For millions of families, a home was the primary way they built wealth and created stable communities. You know that iconic image of post-war suburbia? Well, that whole boom was basically fueled by two things. Housing was just plain more affordable, and government programs, like the famous GI Bill, were actively helping people, especially veterans, buy their very first home. This created a direct, clear pathway to owning a major financial asset. The whole process was almost like a formula. It was this clear, logical progression. You got a stable job, which gave you access to an affordable house, and you often got a boost from government support. And just like that, you had secured a major asset that would grow in value over your lifetime. For an entire generation, this was the central wealth-building opportunity. But a good job and a house weren't the whole story. There was a third, final pillar holding everything up, the safety net. These were all the systems that reduced financial risk and just took a lot of the scary uncertainty out of life, from paying for college to planning for retirement. So what did this more secure existence look like? Well, for starters, college was way more affordable, which meant a lot less student debt. Pensions were common, offering a guaranteed income in retirement. Even daily life was more manageable, with things like lower gas prices and subsidies on food. It all added up to a life with a whole lot less financial anxiety. And let's just zero in on that defined benefit pension for a second, because this is a really big deal. See, unlike a 401k, where all the risk is on you, a pension was a promise. Your employer guaranteed you a specific income for life. That one thing removed a massive amount of stress and guesswork from planning for retirement. So, when you put all three of those pillars together, the stable jobs, the affordable homes, and that strong safety net, you start to see a picture of a truly unique economic environment. It really was a different world. And it makes you wonder, was it just a bygone era, a product of special conditions that we just can't repeat? So there you have it. That was the magic formula. The boomer golden age stood firmly on those three pillars: stable jobs that paid well, affordable homes that built wealth, and a strong safety net that took away a lot of life's financial uncertainty. And all of this leaves us with a pretty crucial question for right now. If the post-war good life was a product of its very specific time, what pillars do we need to build for widespread prosperity today?